Same happens over here. In Indian Constitution, wishes were not expressed, but the people who wrote the Constitution, as I already told you, faced all the problems in practical, and that is why they knew this thing, that these could be the best solution for any country. And it is not like that. From time to time a constitution is amended, because as per the new time, the changed time, their situations keep changing, and that is why the constitution also keeps amending. There are some key features of Indian Constitution, and what are they? That the Indian national movement had been an active in the struggle of independence against the British rule for several decades. Nationalists devoted a great deal of time to imagine and plan what a free India will look like. When the Constitution was being written, India was going through a turmoil. It was a shock for us, because one of our part was separated when we got freedom from Britishers. So already we were under pressure, and that was a big shock. And as per the constitution and as per the stories that I have heard from my past, I also understand this thing, that Pakistan and India were one country, and then what happened? They were separated by the Britishers. This is the famous person B.R. Ambedkar, who is known as the father of Indian Constitution. Why he is known as the father? Because he was the backbone. While I talk about the constitution, be it the writing, be it discussing the rules, regulations, be it anything, and not to forget that we have also discussed about this man in the previous chapters in your previous classes. The final document reflects a respect for maintaining diversity with preserving national unity. So everything was taken care of, along with eradication of poverty with socio-economic reforms. So they thought that everybody should be treated equal. Nobody should be treated as upper caste and lower caste. Apart from this, there should be poverty which should be taken care of on a higher level, because the time when Britishers left our country, we were left with nothing. India was from a golden bird, India turned to a extremely poor country. Now we are going to discuss the key features of Indian Constitution. The first is federalism. So federalism states that there can be more than one government in a country at different levels. So if I discuss the levels, there is a central government, then there is a state government, and there is a local government. Citizens who live in that particular area are governed by the policies which are made by the government at those particular levels. So say suppose if I stay in Pune, so whatever rules and regulations are decided by the government of Pune, I will have to abide by them. Next is parliamentary form of government. The Constitution of India guarantees universal adult suffrage to all citizens. Let's revise what is universal adult suffrage. That is the right given to all the citizens to use their power to vote, to choose the representatives when they become of either 18 years or above 18 years. Irrespective of their caste, color, creed, religion, it does not matter. What matters is the age. And this is known as the parliamentary form of government, where we have the right to choose our representatives. Representatives which we choose are thus accountable to form the government. This is the separation of powers in any country, because powers cannot be located in the hands of few people, because there are chances of they being misused. That is why for a smoother running, what the constitution makers did, they separated the powers. Few are with the executive, the legislatures and the judiciary. Now we will discuss what are these three. The legislature refers to our elected representatives, those who make laws. So when we use our adult suffrage, we choose the representatives. Those representatives, they form the government if they are from the majority, and the other from the opposition. They are then went to the legislative assembly. From there they make the government, and finally the government make the rules. The executive is a small group of people who are responsible for implementing the laws and the regulations that the government has made. And the judiciary refers to the system of the courts at the different levels. Have you ever heard of Supreme Court, High Court? These are the courts which are functioning at different levels. In any country there is just one court at the central level, that is the Supreme Court, but in almost all important and metropolitan cities they have high courts. Each organ acts as a check on another organ of the state and ensures that the power is used in a balanced manner. So, if executive did something wrong, then legislature is there to check. This is why we say that there is a check on each organ. This is a flow chart that shows the separation of power. Government of India, short form GOI, the central or the union government. What happens? Executive consists of president, vice president and cabinet ministers, because these are the parts of the government. Then legislatures of parliament, there are two types. First is Lok Sabha, second is Rajya Sabha. The third is judiciary, that consists of the Supreme Court of India. What is the responsibility of the executive is to pass the laws made by the legislature. Legislature, they sits in the legislative assembly, they discuss several issues, and whenever they come unanimously on any decision, a law is being made. Now, what happens once a law is made? It is the duty of the executive to critically go through, and if they think that it is in the welfare of the citizens, they will pass it. What is the responsibility of them is to make laws, and their responsibility is to solve the conflicts between the executive and legislatures. So, even if there is any matter that has happened between the government officials, that is also being taken to the court. And apart from that, judiciary is also responsible for solving the issues that are among citizens or among states or among any other authority. We will discuss fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are referred to as the conscience of Indian Constitution. Fundamental rights protect citizens against the arbitrary and absolute exercise of power by the state. So, there are some fundamental rights that are being given to each and every citizen. And why are they important? Because they are the soul. They are protecting the citizens from the exploitation by any authority. The Constitution gives the right to these individuals. They protect it against the state and as well as against other individuals. And there are 6 fundamental rights which we are going to discuss. We'll quickly have a look. Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. These are the 6 fundamental rights. When I say that every girl child also has a right to education, this is not because I want her to be educated. No, this is something that the Constitution has guaranteed us, that be it a girl, be it a boy, be it Hindu, be it Muslim, be it from any religion, be it whatever the color of the skin or height, everybody has the right to get the basic education. Then everybody has a right to have the freedom. That means wherever I want to go, whatever I want to do, whichever job or profession I want to follow, I am free to do that. Right against exploitation, that means at any point of time, if I feel that I am being exploited either by my family members or by my co-workers or anywhere, I may go and knock the doors of the legal authorities, because this is my fundamental rights. And similarly, there are 6 fundamental rights. Just have a look and try to find more about them. In addition to the fundamental rights, the Constitution also has a section called the Directive Principles of State Policy. It ensures greater social and economic reforms, and they also serve as a guide to independent Indian state to institute laws and policies that help reduce poverty of the masses. So, these 6, they cover a huge area, but the areas which were left are covered under the Directive Principles of State Policy. What is secularism now? A secular state is a state in which there is no official religion. That means I do not say that everybody has to follow Christianity, everybody has to follow Buddhism, no. Then that is why these two go hand in hand, that India is a secular democratic republic state. Along with that, we have a constitution that gives me the fundamental right to follow any religion of my choice. And if I talk about India, then India is a secular state, which means that it has no religion on which it focuses on. The Constitution plays a crucial role in laying out the ideals that we would like all the citizens of the country to adhere to, including the representatives that we elect. So now what is happening is, first I told you that what is secular state, what do I mean by secularism, and then where it is written in the constitution that there is no official religion of India which all the citizens have to follow, and all the people whom I am electing to represent my country also have to follow. As I say that constitution has changed over years, that means there are few things that are happening in our country. Every time something is changing, because of which changes in the constitution are also being done. So with this we conclude that change is something that is constant. If you want to know more about all the fundamental rights and other things, you can always refer to all the internet websites which are full of information, and you can always vasten your horizon of knowledge. Thank you.